believe that evil doesn't exist in the world. And if ever darkened their doorstep, they wouldn't know how to protect themselves. Those are the sheep. And then you got predators. They use violence to prey on the weak. They're the wolves. And then there are those who've been blessed with the gift of aggression and overpower their needs to protect the flock. These men are a rare breed who live to confront the wolf. They are the sheepdog. And we're not raising any sheep in this family. And I will whoop your ass if you turn into a wolf. But we protect our own.
Well, I'll stand up next to a mountain and I'll chop it down with the edge of my hand. Well, I'll stand up next to a mountain and chop it down with the edge of my hand. Pick up all the pieces and make an island. Money, but ain't so little sad. Yeah. 'Cause I'm a blue child. Lord knows I'm a blue child.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep Revolution Radio going. Find out the website. Get over to the website. Smash that donation button. Revolution.radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. Get in there and smash that donation button. Get in there and make a contribution in some fashion. We would really help us keep this Hawk's dream alive. My name is The Mechanic. We are joined tonight by Sergeant Miller.
Hey, where's John?
What's all the excitement?
Condo. We can't find John. He was heading that way.
Oh, no. Check that old refrigerator.
Thanks, Recondo.
Remember, never get in anything that could close up and trap you.
Like an old trunk or an abandoned refrigerator. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Let's get out.
Sarge, I can't hear you, but can you hear me? Text me. You're here.
Everyone thinks rap legends.
Shit.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, yeah,
Right,
little
yeah,
technical
little
difficulty.
difficult.
Sorry about
See,
that, ladies and gentlemen.
you need to. We're all good. We're all good.
Yeah, we good.
Uh,
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Revolution.radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. This is Sergeant Miller with First Formation, along with my road dog, Jer Bear. How you doing, Jer?
I'm hanging in there. I'm prepping a Italian meatloaf, and you know me, I just try to keep my mind occupied without all the bullshit we're going through this country and the whole world.
Yeah,
Over.
it's been a crazy, crazy week, huh?
Mo, I've been following a lot about Clive Davis, Pippi, Sir, all of it. It's high interest in me and makes my mind think about it. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, same old, same old. We went to the Cajun Heartland State Fair today. I took my daughter. Her birthday is Thursday.
What
So I
was it?
took her to the fair.
To the county fair?
Yeah, it's a big fair. It come every year around this time. So she had fun.
That did you ride on any nice cool rides with her?
No, I'm too old for that, Jer.
Oh, you ain't too old. I
She
remember.
went to have fun. Her and my wife. My wife got on most of the rides with her. But
Oh, okay. Okay.
I shoot the basketball, the hoops and throw the
Okay, yeah.
darts
Well,
on
we're
the
all the
balloon.
yeah, we're all the that's where they want the money.
Yeah,
All those
yeah.
booths. Yeah. Ring toss here, darts here. I remember
Yeah,
one time
all that
back
good
in when
stuff.
back when I was a youngster, my birthday was just at the end of June, and right around August 1st, uh, they rolled into town for the Yuba Sutter Fair, County Fair. And so
Mhm.
I ride my bike down there and I'm looking at them setting it all up. And I said, I want to do some work. And so his name was Mr. Tums. He's a big old fat dude that hired us kids in the city to go around and clean up fucking trash. And we had we had like a shovel pole cut off, and they would put he would nail a nail in the end and then sharpen it so it was a point and a
Mhm.
gunny sack that we'd all go around picking up trash
Mhm.
for so much. Yeah, Mr. Tums. But yeah, that's what's happening. But yeah,
Mhm.
so carry on, Serge.
Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I thank everybody for joining. And like I said, when I played that little G.I. Joe, I know a lot of people my age and older grew up with G.I. Joe. It was very it brought a lot of issues up. And it always said knowing is half the battle. So that stood with me when I was a child till I got older. Knowing is half the battle.
I got
And
another story about GI Joe when I was like 5 years old. We had one of those GI Joe dolls, and I was youngster. Believe me, I was green, didn't know shit. I said to my older brother, I said, "What's the nigger? What's a nigger? What's a
mhm,
nigger?" And he says, "Oh, let me see that GI Joe doll." So he opens up the butt or where the butt is. He says, "See that place between where your sack is and your asshole?" He says, "That's your nigger." I said, "What?"
yeah, they call it the gooch. The gooch too.
I guess. Well, I can't remember that, but that was the youngest thing I could remember. I still recall about
Hmm.
Big Eye. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. But in the G.I. Joe clip, it said Don't get yourself in a trap that you can't get yourself out of. And isn't that what Trump did? He put himself, the swamp. He's talking about getting rid of the swamp, drain the swamp.
Yes, sir.
Well, in Louisiana, you don't drain a swamp. You fill it with you fill it with land, sand, manure, and try to clog it up. You don't drain it.
Yeah,
And you
that's
see,
what Disney had to do in Florida.
yeah.
He had to build like a small dike around a large area to keep the water out of that area. And I guess as time went by, they slowly maintained it that it's land and stuff.
hmm hmm Well, let's see. Let's get into a little history today, right quick.
All right,
Don't have that much.
I'm gonna mute out, Sarge, and
All
just
right.
hold.
Thank you, sir.
But
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this on this day, June 3rd, 2024. On this day, let's go back to history. We got 350, year 350 on this day. Roman usurper Nepotianus of the Constantinian dynasty proclaims himself Roman emperor, entering Rome at the head of a group of gladiators. Then 1083 on this day, Henry V of Germany storms Rome, capturing St. Peter's Cathedral. All right. On this day in 1539, Hernando de Soto lands in Florida. Spanish conquistador Hernando de Soto claims Florida for Spain. On the coast of Florida, somewhere between present-day Tampa Bay and Charlotte Harbor. There goes some history right there with De Soto. Also in 1540, 1 year after this, Hernando de Soto crosses the Appalachian Mountains, first European to do so. All right, 1658 on this day, Pope Alexander VII appoints Francois de Laval vicar of Apostolic in New France. Well, France and Spain always in some shit around here, huh? Battle of Lowestoft in 1665 on this day. Duke of York and the British fleet defeat the Dutch off the coast of Lowestoft. First fleet action of the Second Dutch War. And that was King of England, Scotland, and Ireland, James II. Damn, hellified title, huh? 1781 on this day, Jack Jewett rides to warn Thomas Jefferson of an incoming British attack. And that'll been the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, who was actually a decent, if you study his diary, Thomas Jefferson, he was very constitutional, very decent. Kind of, he kind of reminds me, I think that's how Trump kind of runs his campaigns. If you really study both of them, I think Thomas Jefferson, he borrowed a lot from Thomas Jefferson, especially with borders and military and law enforcement. So that's something I saw just from glancing at history and connecting it, like we try to do here at Rev Radio. 1789, Mackenzie's first expedition. Explorer Alexander Mackenzie sets out on his first expedition to the Pacific from Fort Chipewyan, and he finds the Arctic Ocean instead. Hmm. I guess them GPS wasn't working too good back then, huh? All right. 1864 on this day, General Robert E. Lee wins his last victory of the U.S. Civil War at the Battle of Cold Harbor. Confederate General Robert E. Lee. 1871 on this day, Jesse James and his gang robs Obocock Bank, Corydon in Iowa, of $15,000. So I guess in 1871 that'd have been equivalent to what? Maybe 150,000 these days with inflation. I guess it was worth every penny. All right, let's see. 1906 on this day, Leopold II claims Congo. Belgian King Leopold II claims Congo as his private possession. Ain't that some shit? Claims the Congo as his private possession. Wow, what a piece of shit, huh? All right, 1932 on this day, Hindenburg disbands government. German President Paul von Hindenburg disbands Heinrich Brünnig's parliament. Pretty interesting. 1940 on this day, miracle of Dunkirk. Last British and French troops evacuated from Dunkirk. That was actually a pretty decent movie that just came out a couple years ago, Dunkirk. All right, let's see. Where should we go? Just I just try to glance at the highlights. All right, let's see. 1961 on this day, American President John F. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Khrushchev meet in Vienna. So that goes to show you that Russia and United States can come together and come up with some peaceful talks. Boy, boy, boy. Let's see. I'm just going through a little things here. Ah, let's see. 1976 on this day, U.S. presented with oldest known copy of the Magna Carta. And the Magna Carta was written in iron gale ink on parchment in medieval Latin. All right, there you go. Some good history there. Let's see. 1981 on this day, Pope John Paul II was released from hospital after assassination attempt. I guess he wasn't going along with the plan, huh? All right, 1989 on this day, Tiananmen Square massacre. Beginning of the Tiananmen Square massacre as Chinese troops opened fire on pro-democracy supporters in Beijing. I guess we're having our own Tiananmen Square moment here at all the colleges and protests and shit all around the country. So that's very interesting. That type of energy is on this day. I go to show you what you can learn from history and apply it to yourself at the present time. Well, I think that's it. That's it for just a few little things. Much more happened on this day, but I just try to highlight things like that. All right. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We got Jared Jammer. Shout out Jared Jammer. Got Batu Khan. I think Lavender Streams is still listening. I know they was listening to Why Not and them that came on before here. So shout out to all those gentlemen there. Why Not? You had Tom, Demetrius, Daryl. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Mega Logos, welcome back on Mega Logos. Glad you're back with us. And I just wanted to connect that G.I. Joe I played, talking about putting yourself in a trap. So here goes, this is Donald Trump years ago at the Alfred E. Smith dinner, telling a joke about him and Hillary. And this is just going to set up things for the show. Here we go.
Moments together, which is true. I have no doubt that Hillary is going to laugh quite a bit tonight, sometimes even at an appropriate moment. And even tonight, with all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, "Let me talk to you about that after I get into office."
All right, that was a little joke years ago, years ago. Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty damn good joke. Pardon me. Boy, boy, boy. But I just want to show the hypocrisy, because they charge Trump with all those counts. But this show I'm gonna bring up like contradictions of people, different people from different parts of the stage, because this all is it all is a stage. What Shakespeare said, the world is a stage and we are the actors. So that's a lot of what you got going on. You saw Robert De Niro, who is a Grammy nominated and pretty sure winner on acting, just come out and he was talking shit against Trump. But if you look at his last movie, what was that? Flowers of the Sun Moon. He played a 33rd degree Freemason that was running a town, along with Leonardo DiCaprio, that was his nephew. So you watch that movie, you find a lot of truths coming out. And on the trial, the hush money, I wanted to play Stormy Daniels on Bill Maher. And y'all listen to this. Check this out.
And first I asked her why she had sex with Trump. Listen to that, and then listen to what she says after that, and then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite a variance of what she said to me in 2018. Why did you Donald Trump?
I have no idea.
Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or raped or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex.
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy.
Hilarious. I found that very, very interesting. How that's the main woman with the hush money, right? So we all tracking with that, with the hush money. So she just was on Bill Maher, and this was a while back. I think it was 2018 when she said that, talking about Trump didn't force her into anything, and it was consensual. That's pretty much what she's saying. So you see the hypocrisy. So imagine that. That's crazy. That's crazy to me that this day and age, with all this technology and all these receipts and all of these information, you still got, they still can run that game on people. That's amazing. That's amazing to me, man. I just found that clip and played it, and look how you don't think that's evidence? Isn't that a confession? I'm just, it's crazy. Crazy to me, man. Yeah, man. So let's see. Let's see where else we can go after that. A lot of talk about Trump's vice president, him choosing a vice president. I think that's gonna be like like the NBA and NFL first round draft pick. I think that's gonna be a real big, depending on who he chooses. But two candidates that I was paying attention to is Ben Carson and of course Tulsi Gabbard. So let me find both of them. They were on The View, which I don't normally watch, but I like to show the contradiction with that, because it's a hard show to watch. It really is. The View, oh man, that's a headache. But let me pull this up. Um, I got one, like I said, I got one with Ben Carson and one with Tulsi Gabbard. Those are two good picks for Trump for vice president. Not saying that's gonna be the ones, but I'm just putting it out there. Those are two of them that's at least respectable in a way. Because Ben Carson is a neurosurgeon and very articulate. And Tulsi Gabbard, she was a counselor of foreign relations, combat medic veteran, and she switched from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. So those are things that her and Trump got in common, switching sides of the dark side, put it that way, just to make a little joke with it. But it was just very interesting how when Trump was Democratic lobbyists funding like Hillary Clinton campaign or her book she was writing or a certain movement, how things was a-okay. Was no problem. But the problem began when he ran for president. That's when the shit hit the fan, right? So it just goes to show you that, it ain't no difference between Democrat and Republican. It's just one is red, one is blue, just like a blood and a crip. They're both gangs. So once you realize that, you'll be all right. So here goes Ben Carson on The View. Let's check this out.
I'm sure you get this question a lot, but why did you endorse Donald Trump?
Well, when I dropped out, my first choice went with me. But I said that I was
The witches at the spew are laughing right now, but Dr. Carson is about to silence these old hags.
I was going to remain neutral. But then I realized that, the political establishment was aligning to protect their turf. And they don't like the idea of people who are not beholden to them and who cannot be controlled coming into Washington, D.C. And that was one of the reasons they didn't like me very much, but I was easier to get rid of than Donald Trump.
Sir, I hate to ask this question, but you have aligned yourself with the man who has bashed women, made countless racist remarks, and you're Ben Carson. Why would you align yourself with that?
Well, you have to look at the good and the bad. There is no perfect person.
No, I know that.
But you know, you look at when Donald Trump first went down to Palm Beach area, and you know, a lot of the clubs down there would not accept Jews and blacks. He insisted on Jews and blacks and helped to break that open. So has he said some things that I wouldn't say or that you wouldn't say? Of course.
But he was also sued by the Justice Department in the 70s for not allowing black tenants into his properties, and he settled with the Justice Department, even though he didn't admit any liability, any wrongdoing. It's very clear to those of us in the law.
Now we know Prosecutor Sunny always has to make herself sound smart.
That means that there was something amiss, and it was a significant consent decree. So the notion that he is a fan of the African American community, I think is
well. I will put it this way: I have met a lot of his employees, including African Americans, and they have nothing but good things to say. Somebody who's hired as many people as he has hired, and you can find very few people who have anything negative to say. And then you have to look at his family. I always say one of the ways that you measure a person is looking at their children. And how do their children act?
Well, one's a big game hunter. I'm not thrilled with that.
Well, I mean, that's your privilege. But the fact of the matter is, you know, they have been raised very well. They're very respectful. And, you know, I look at a lot of kids who come from very wealthy families, and I am appalled at what I see. So there is no perfect person, but what I think is really the worst thing that threatens our nation right now is a political class, a ruling class, and they are so threatened by anybody who is not beholden to them, they will do virtually anything. And I think that's what's likely to destroy.
You can say that till the cows come home, sir. This guy is, I'm sorry, he's a racist, and he's not good for the country.
What's the alternative?
And I'm sorry, I don't understand. He's not said about, what about the white supremacists? He hasn't really said to them, hey, listen, that's not what America stands for. He said, you know, it's too much. You're Ben Carson. You're so much better than this.
Well, I am Ben Carson. And that's the very reason.
All right, Whoopi. I gotta give you one time, Whoopi. Here you go, Whoopi.
Are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
I had to do that one, right? And let's see. What's another good one? Here you go, Whoopi.
Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah. You gotta put that in there with Whoopi. Boy, she was too emotional. Boy, she looked like she was in the color purple. Boy. But I just like showing the contradiction. And let's see how Ben Carson will handle this.
The reason I'm doing this is because I look at the big picture. Could I focus only on racial issues? Absolutely.
I was enjoying the silence at the table until Whoopi ruined it. The women on The View only focus on racial issues.
Could I focus only on women's issues? Absolutely. I could look at any one little thing and pick anybody apart on it. But right now, the nature of our country is at stake. We are on the precipice, and we are determining what kind of nation we're going to be. Are we going to be a nation that's upformed by the people or upformed by the government? This is a choice that we are making right now.
Okay, if you're going to overlook what he says about women, if you're going to overlook what he says about African Americans, what about what he said about you? He basically said that you had a pathological disease. Wait a minute, hold on. He even compared you to a child molester. Come on. Well, it could be personal, even. If
it were about me, I would be offended. But it's about America. We have to save this nation. That is what's important.
But he's a liar. Unless you say that you're a child molester, he's a liar. Do you want a liar for the presidency?
Joy has no shame. Shall we look at the plethora of lies that Biden tells?
I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community. I had a very close relationship with the Greek American community, for real. I am Joe Bidenopoulos. I grew up in a heavily Irish Catholic community in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and a heavily Italian Polish community. When I say I got raised in the black church, he knows I'm not kidding. The Persian culture is amazing. As a student of Persian culture, I probably went to shul more than many of you. I come out of the black community. The background of my family is Irish American. Not fundamentally unlike the Palestinian people. I you might say raised in the synagogues in my state. Everyone in town was either Polish or Italian. I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an SKI. I was raised in a neighborhood where I felt self-conscious. My name didn't end in O. That's kind of how I was raised, like so many Americans of Irish heritage. You in your home state, Mr. President. I can't forget about it. That's why I got raised, man. Just like rabbis, synagogues, and Jewish community centers in your hometown, and that's the tradition I got raised. Hard-working people, middle class, the neighborhoods I got raised in. I was raised on GM. I was raised by Daniel Noe. I was raised by a righteous Christian. I got raised on automobile.
Tell me a politician who doesn't tell lies.
Abraham Lincoln. I don't know.
A current day
but
politician.
the lying that he does is continuous. It's on a regular basis.
Well, again,
Fact check goes berserk when he talks. He's got a long Pinocchio nose.
What I have to do is look at who is most likely to oppose the ruling class that is ruining our country.
Yeah, well.
Who is likely?
The ruling class.
Who is likely?
He is the ruling class.
He said that there would be room for you in his cabinet, in his administration. Did he make any promises to you, and is that behind your endorsement?
No, not at all. And in fact, you know, we agreed that we want to save this nation, particularly for the next generation, and talked about a variety of ways to do it. I'm continuing to work on mechanisms of presenting ladders of opportunity that will allow the downtrodden in our society to climb out of a state of dependency. Right now, the programs that have been put forth by both Democrats and Republicans for the last few decades are doing nothing but creating more dependency. We've gone from a can-do nation to a what can you do for me nation. It's not a good thing, and it's not helping America, and it's not helping the world.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Carson, and we know each other. I will say my husband went to Hopkins Medical School, and you and your wife and your family were always so gracious to us by inviting us into your home many times, fellowship, dinner. And so I know you are a man of family values. What do you make of the fact that Donald Trump just yesterday is attacking Ted Cruz's wife based on her looks?
Look, I do
and
not.
has attacked other women.
I do not condone any of that. I don't condone it
but
from anybody.
But you've endorsed him. Isn't that implicit in that endorsement?
No.
Aren't you
Implicit
endorsing
in the
his
endorsement
behavior?
is not an endorsement of anything that anybody has said or done throughout their lives.
And that's Sunny's second attempt to sound smart, but unfortunately she was shut down with facts. Maybe she was paying attention and learned something.
The reason, again, that I'm endorsing him is because I recognize that we are heading down the exact same path that we have been on all along. These political types are very slick, and they get you to believe that everything's different now. Now we're going to be wonderful people, and we're not going to be doing this to the populace anymore. And that is absolutely not true.
Do you really think that Trump is correct in saying that people will, you know, be up in arms, quote unquote, riot? He said that if they did not choose him as the nominee?
I don't think that there would be a physical riot, but I think it would absolutely destroy the Republican Party.
Now, you see, now this clip is old, but I brought it up just to bring up some points of how liberal media tries to control the narrative, which they do all day long. I mean, here at Rev Radio, we on par with that. We discuss that every day, you know, doom and gloom. You know, Trump got sentenced. Well, he actually got charged. That's a big difference. So there's going to be appeals, and then people are going to lose their mind with if the appeal goes in his favor. You know, but the thing is, what evidence did they have? I just played Stormy Daniels, you know, admitting that it was consensual. Man, I mean, boy, that Edward Bernays propaganda is in full effect. So yeah, I just wanted to play that Ben Carson, just to set the stage for, you know, contradictions and things like that, you know. Let's see where else I want to go with it. It's just so much man, you got so much. You got what's his name? The Stephen Colbert, all of these night show hosts. And it's like, wow. I'm like, man, you remember in the vaccine how Stephen Colbert had the vaccines, all that crazy stuff, man. And I'm like, wow. People actually sit around and watch that shit like it's true news or something, like I'm like, wow, man, you can't be serious. Wow. I'm like, it's mind-boggling that people don't do their research, proper research, especially at this day and age with so much technology. It's like, man, you got it in the palm of your hand to figure this shit out. Don't just take their word for, that's set in stone. Man, you got to research, man. That's what you got to get both sides of the story and make up your own mind of what's true. And 9 times out of 10, you'll figure it out. It's just you can't just be so biased. I mean, let's be honest. If they had Trump on trial for Operation Warp Speed and actually shutting down the economy and being the cause of millions dying, I don't see no problem with him going to trial for that. Y'all agree? I mean, hey, it's that's a serious stuff, man. A lot of people died, a lot of people are injured. So if they was going to trial with that and as much evidence is out there with that Operation Warp Speed, you wouldn't. I'd be on here showing how you messed up the country, being compromised, Zionism, being compromised, got to pay to play. But for them to, pull this stuff out the air, hush money. Like, man, have you seen Congress record with all of these insider trading and that's what's his name? Sam Bankman Fraud, with that cryptocurrency and the money was getting funneled to the Democratic Party. Like, come on, man. Let's come on, man. It's so bananas. I'll tell you. Let's see where I want to go from here. Played that one. Let's see. Let me find Tulsi Gabbard. Let me find her. And I remember this is from years ago. So I'm just bringing up a little history. And here
so Tulsi Gabbard went on The View this week, and she seems completely fed up with the over-the-top smears against her. So she's going to address it. It gets a little bit awkward in the room there, but I think she does a fantastic job. Take a look.
Recently on your show here.
I was just going to get to that.
Good. Helping you out.
You want me to ask you the question?
Yeah. Oh, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
I guess we we're getting a little bit far ahead of ourselves, but Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing. Richard Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for you.
Joy, this is why.
I mean,
this
you're
is
on
why I'm
Tucker
here.
Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here, because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary
that have
Clinton
nothing to
started
do
it,
with
and then
who
you
I
shot
am.
back at her, boy. You called her the queen of warmongers.
You doubled down, unfortunately, you doubled down on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am. I'm a soldier. Because of the attacks on 9/11, I enlisted in the military to go after and defeat and destroy the evil that visited us on that day. I've served now for over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East during the height of the war, where every single day I saw firsthand the terribly high human cost. That's why I ran for Congress.
We actually have the clip of Hillary Clinton, just to put this in
Just to
context
put it
of
in
what we're
context.
talking about. Let's take a look at that.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third party candidate. She's a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of, sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
So really? I mean, this is outrageous. This is outrageous and offensive on so many levels. I've served as a member of Congress now for almost 7 years, receiving high-level national security and intelligence briefings, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, working to ensure the safety and security of the people of this country. This is why I'm running for president, to continue that commitment of service.
So are you surprised, though, that when people see bots and things and all the things that we've sort of been seeing heading your way, that people have these questions? Because she's not the only one. Hillary, I don't think, is the only one. So what she's saying is she feels they are grooming you. You're saying nobody's grooming me. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm a soldier and a patriot.
It's offensive to me as a soldier, as an American, as a member of Congress, as a veteran, and frankly, as a woman, to be so demeaned in such a way.
But you called her the personification of what?
So demeaned
She's a woman
in such
too.
a way. Well, I'm pointing to the fact that she has continued this legacy of being the world's police around the world, that has waged wars costing the lives of thousands of my brothers and sisters in uniform. I'm speaking out against that, and
What's
to
your evidence
change
to that?
to change.
Well, can I?
Are you serious?
Let's hear it.
Are you serious?
Let's hear it.
I served in the war
Not
in
you,
Iraq.
her. You're saying that she's
exactly.
she's a
I
warmonger.
served
How do
in
you
the
come
war
up with
in
that?
Iraq
Yeah.
that she championed. She championed a regime change
Did
war
you not
in
believe
Libya.
in that war?
I believe the lies that were told to us.
Well, so did she.
So it is.
I apologize for pissing y'all off with this. Boy, that woman there, boy, she is something else, bro. How she actually trying to defend Hillary? Like for real? You ain't heard about Benghazi? And them soldiers that was left there butt naked? Okay. And what's his name? Ambassador Stevens? I mean, we can go there, boy. What's her name? J Bear, whatever. Boy, that's an aggravating woman there, boy. Lord have mercy. Let's continue.
Indisputable. It is indisputable to say anything other than the fact that Hillary. Let me just close this out. That Hillary Clinton, throughout her career, has led with a foreign policy of interventionism and being the world's police, going and toppling dictators in other countries that has caused such destruction and loss of life. I'm against that. I'm running for president to change that. Rather than actually debate me on the issues, she and others are resorting to these smear tactic campaigns, seeking to undermine me, smear my character, and sending a message to anyone who dissents: toe the line, or you too will be smeared.
Man, I just feel bad for Tulsi at this point, because it's like, when they want to come after you, they come after you. And the oldest trick in the book is just find an angle and just keep hammering away on it over and over and over and over and over. So they don't have stuff to go after her, like she says there, that's really policy related where they come out looking better than she does. So it's just, okay, the thing we're going to hang our hat on is Russian puppet being groomed to run third party, even though she said repeatedly she's not going to run third party. And just use that angle and just go, and get your minions in the media to do your bidding and to parrot that same line. Obviously, no need for evidence, or take whatever, however flimsy your evidence is, use that and act like it's conclusive, and just don't stop. And so it's the, Assad puppet, you love brutal dictators line, and it's the, oh my God, Russian asset line.
Yeah, they always using that, huh? That Russia. Bruh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Revolution.radio. It is Monday morning here in Louisiana. This is freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net, and this is Sergeant Miller with First Formation. I hope y'all enjoying the presentation. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everyone had a decent week at least, so we can have the start of another decent week. So yeah, I just wanted to show the contradictions of them going after Trump and how they try to show the dirt under his carpet, but the dirt in their carpet, it looked like Mount Rushmore. You see, it's too easy. It's too easy to show the contradictions. I mean, man, Pelosi, how did Pelosi make all those millions with $100,000 budget or $100,000 salary as House? Like things like that. That questions that we ask over here at Rev Radio. So you got to realize that it's a system. Always been a system. It's like an oligarch. They created this for themselves back in 1871 with the what they call it, the Organic Act of Congress. Right then and there, they created their own system, and we were born in it.
Sarge.
So not only, yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Also, 1871 is the year they changed. I think it was Grant's. Grant wasn't. It just ended his. I'm not sure if it was during the Grant presidency or right after. 1871, they took away the way the flag is presented. The United States of America. They changed the name to the Corporation of the United States. And that was one of the phases, along with later on as General Wilson starting the federal government, 2031 when they banned gold, all the way down the line. But that was one vital era that supposedly Trump was going to bring back the right way of it. It's not the United States of America, not the United. What did I say? Just anyway, Trump was going to bring it back to the original thing and take away. That's when they put the gold flange around the flag.
Around the flag.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what we got. Democracy. That's what they created. Democracy. Full-fledged democracy. That's why we're in the shit we're in now.
That's one of the reasons. They took, when they made us the Corporation of the United States, that's when they started. People try to make, what was it? What's the man called that doesn't believe in all the statutes and they call yourself something.
Like anarchy or unpatriotic.
I don't need a driver's license. I have right to cast through. I'm not that kind of shit.
Yeah. The national, they got the word national. National is one word, but they use sovereign citizen.
That's right. That's what
probably
I'm
the one.
trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But once you study Black's Law Dictionary, you see the contradiction in sovereign citizen. Because you can't be both in that same word because they contradict each other.
Okay.
That's like saying a rich poor man at the same time. You either one or the other.
That was a movie, wasn't it? Rich Man, Poor Man.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we got a couple more minutes. So yeah, shout out to everybody that's listening. I hope everybody having fun. Cause we try our best.
Correct. All right, I'll mute out. Keep going, Chef.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. All right, let's see. About 2 minutes left. So yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. Excuse me. And I'm not saying that's who Trump is gonna pick for vice president. It was just two candidates that I saw that was very solid on a lot of fronts. Because with this circus show, you got to be very strategic, and I think his vice president pick should be, like equal to what Harris is. That's why I wouldn't mind Gabbard, because Gabbard, you all remember on the when it was debating, man, Tulsi Gabbard was tearing up Harris. Just being honest. So yeah, that's what I look for. But whoever Trump picks, it's gonna be like the draft. It'll be like the NFL, NBA draft. It's gonna be the story of the week, just like he's the story of the week all week with those 34, charged him with 34 felonies, and I'm like, but you can't. And they wonder why black folks is looking at this like, wait a minute, why y'all doing that to that man like that, y'all? Oh boy. That's why Trump had those rappers at his rally, and he was like, "Yeah, I need to go get me some gold teeth." Yeah, so there go the music.
True.
And we'll be right back. This is Sergeant Miller with First Formation on Revolution.radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. And we'll be right back.
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hey everyone, it's Barbara Jean Lindsay, the Cosmic Oracle. If you have questions about your past lives or future plans, need answers from the cosmos about your love life or career, or just want to keep your finger on the pulse of the planet, check out my show, The Cosmic Oracle, here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew? Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind? If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal, ancient cultures and structures, monatomic elements, longevity, fantastic discoveries in science, downloaded to your brain, then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave. And I'm Mackie. And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids. dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Revolution Radio.
All right. We're back. We're back. This is the second hour of Sergeant Miller's First Formation here on Revolution.Radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. This is a listener-supported platform, so make sure you go to the website and become a supporter, become a Patreon. There's many ways you can donate to this type of platform, and it's much needed. There's freedom of speech, where we can do research and bring up different points of views in a safe environment. So shout out to Rev Radio for that. And along with me, I got Jer Bear. Got Jer Bear riding shotgun with me. How you doing, Jer?
I'm doing just fine, kicking it with you, and wondering where I went wrong, but not deliberately to the show. Just Jer Bear's still hanging in the world today. Almost 68 come June 26th. I'll hit the big 6'8".
Oh, you're right there. You're right there, Jer.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway,
What you gonna do? What you gonna do for your birthday?
I'll probably come on down to New Orleans.
Oh man, yeah. I think Essence Festival will be going on around that time.
No, I'm just You know, I ran into this a little story. I ran in this. I had a friend named Gary Leaf. He just passed away. I've known him since 7th grade, and we still stayed in touch. And he just passed away. And his sister was a couple years older, named Leanne, and she was beautiful. She was like a hippie chick back in the day. And so we on Facebook, on Facebook, she told me about Gary passing away, and me and her had a one-on-one conversation a few times, just relating things and yada yada yada. So the other day she goes, Jer, I want to turn you on to the system where I got sent $40,000. I said, and I'm gonna turn you on to the dude that did this for me. So in Facebook, this guy starts texting me one-on-one, saying, asking me all these questions, wanting my ID, pictures of my ID, pictures of my debit card and credit card. And then he started asking these questions to see if I was qualified. So Leanne told me, she said, Jared, I did this a couple days ago, and the same day I got sent 40,000 cash from UPS. I said, yeah. So anyway, I'm dealing with this guy, and she's on standby that I can one-on-one chat with her and tell her what's up. So after all this, answering this and presenting my IDs and this, that, he says, what I want you to do now, if you want $40,000 cash, it's $2,000 up front. If you want the next 10,000 up, 30,000, it's $3,000 up front. I said, okay, I'm listening. But here's what you got to do for the 2,000 to send me. He says this. He says, you got to go get one of those cards. He says, go get 4, those cards.
You talking about those gift cards?
Yeah. He told me to go get four of them for $500, and it might take you a minute because they just don't give them out, and you got to shop around for them because the way shit is. And I said, okay. So this was probably about 8 this morning, or Saturday morning. And after all that, I don't know, I was just drained already because I'd been up, but he drained me like, okay. I said, I need some timeout time. Let me think about it. And then he'd come back and say, are you still here? Yeah. I said, all right. I said, I might be a few hours, blah, 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 but I'm going to go attempt to do this because you said no store. You'd have to shop around because the way they are with these type of cars, the shit on them. I said, okay, I'll get back to you. So I said, I'm going to go to bed. It was 8:30 in the morning. And he had messaged me, hey, where you at? Did you do this? Did you do that? So I told Leanne, I said, Leanne, I just went to bed. And I did ask her, I said, hey, if I get ripped off for 2,000 and you already got she showed me a picture of the money. She took a picture of it. I said, if I get burned, will you pay me back my $2,000 from the money that you already established or received? She said, yeah. But I said, fuck, I've been up all night, and to go do this, I'm gonna at least take a power nap. And I know I've tried to buy those cards for this chick that really needed some help. And I told her, let me mail it to you, blah, 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 some cash, because I try to deal with cash. And I was gonna send her some cash to her. I think I did. I sent her a birthday card, and I put about $50 in the card and sent it off to her. She never got it. She was from Argentina, young girl. And what she said, I said, what's your, she gave me the address. I said, but she never registered herself with the post office. So it was going to her landlord, I guess. I don't know. And I got all pissed off at her. And I said, go get a register your mail. Even if you got to get one of those mailboxes at the post office. So she's a little green with that. And it taught me a lesson that I tried to get her $200. And I was going to get 4 cards. And Albertson, right across the street, said, let me get my manager. The cashier. She brought the cashier. She goes, I can't do this. Why? Because I can't remember the details of it. I said, this is my friend. She needs help. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, dude. See ya. So I never attempted to do it again. Any other store, yada, yada, yada. So that taught me something that on some of these outfits like Facebook, what's the one with the one that Instagram, or what is it?
Yeah, Instagram, and then you got Edge.
Instagram. That all, if I meet anybody, they're chicks saying they're millennials, about, though most of them under 35-ish, start rapping to me. Hi, how you doing? What's up? Blah, blah, blah. Where do you live? I said, Southern Nevada. Oh, I do too. I'm in Vegas, over by Paradise. And I said, yeah, that's where I live. And so they start rubbernecking with you. And they said, hey, they'll come up with some excuse. Hey, you want to come over for a back rub and a nightcap? I said, well, maybe. What's up? And they said, oh, you got to go get an app and send it to me first. So I said, I deal with cash. Oh, no, it's not my way. I said, cash in hand? Oh, I might get ripped off. I said, shit. So anyway, I learned, I never did it. I did go try and buy it from my friend in Texas. I can't think of her name. And I couldn't do it. So I tried to tell her straight out, I'll send it to you and mail it to you. And it came back. So all this static came about after the fact that the card came back. But anyway, there's a lot of scammers in those chicks saying, oh, I'll do this, do that. Go get me a game card or whatever and send it to me. Give me the number over the phone so I can make sure you're legit, yada, yada, yada. So that's what they do these days. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah, man. That's the name of the game. They got they got Cash App, scamming, all kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
I just hope that you learn, not to play with that. No matter how good it sounds. You know what I'm saying?
I told Leanne, and I said I didn't want to run around with all that shit to do on. It I said, it's kind of, it's like it caught me. It said, like, I have to get these game cards or whatever they call them for $2,000. So I was going to ask roommate to go in house, come up with $1,000. I'd come up with $1,000 and go do it. But I got tired and all just contemplated into that area. And I told Leanne later, I didn't do it because of this and that.
Yeah, that was your gut instinct telling you, nah.
Yeah, and so here's what. Let me read what he said to me. Let me find it.
Yeah, because you can't afford to take no loss.
No, but if she would have backed it up, I probably would have. She would have backed it up. I just didn't want to go all these stores to get the $2,000 in cards. So anyway,
yeah, don't do it, Jerry. Don't do it.
So even though she showed me cash, they go, do you want to? I'm trying to find this dude. Hang on, I gotta get in.
Yeah, that could be. They call that the It's like 3-card Molly or like the shells. You was talking about New Orleans. They got the little ball in the bottle caps. So like somebody will identify you as a mark. You know what I'm saying? And they'll scam on you. You know, you'll see one guy at the table, he just won. And then you walk up to it and you'd be like, damn, he just won $200. And you're not knowing that they working together. And then you put your money up there and you can't find the ball. Yeah, it's a cold game, man. It's a cold game.
Yeah, that is. So are we on not just in Studio A, Deacon's got us on Rumble or something? Did you announce
No,
that?
not yet. I usually send it to him after I record the show. I send it to him and he put it on the Rumble. We came up with that way, just to eliminate the extra headache. You know?
What, he records it and then adds it later?
Yeah, I got it recording right now, and I'll send him the whole file.
He records it and doesn't go live.
Yeah.
Is that what he puts it on later or what? That's what I'm asking. I don't.
Yes, sir. He puts it on later, so it'll probably be up by tomorrow around noon. As soon as I send it to him. It's just, it's just, one less headache you got to worry with and deal with,
I got another news flash for you. My brother Andre and me are the only two family members out of parents and having my parents having 5 sons. 3 of them have passed. My parents have passed. So all of a sudden, like a couple months ago, Andre, we chatted in Facebook. So, and then I talked to him online. I said, Andre, I know a lot of bitterness, this, that. We teased you a lot, me and Tony, his twin brother, as youngsters. And, I can't even come over to your house in this today world. I have to meet you at a car wash to go out to see Tony's cremation place, etc. And so lately I brought up, I said, Andre, I apologize. I'm sorry for all the bitterness or anything that I did to create this, this way. So lately, I'll just read what this is. I sent him a song, come on people, get your life together. Everybody, love your brother. Gonna be, it's get lost. I'll play it. I'll have you play it. So I said, and this is what I said on March 19th. Andre, I send love and hope. You are feeling strong. I wish we'd relate more. Well, I wish I said my, let me see. Well, I wish I sold my house and came back to Northern Cal. Please tell me your family. Please tell your family I love them and they're in my prayers. So Andre was a high school, he was a teacher back in the day, and his wife, it was a head surgical nurse at the local hospital. So she was kind of straight, and I was one of the best men at his wedding. But so then he didn't say nothing. Then I said, on April 27th, I said, hello, Andre, I finally got somewhere with my prostate gland that I'm having issues with. No sign of cancer. It's just inflated. It's just inflated. I understand. Buds, have you and your beloved family? I said, Buds, I have you and your beloved family in my prayers. Much love to you, your brother, love, Jer. Circa April 27th. So I'm going on. He's not replying yet. And then again, I say, wish you'd say hello. I said, wish you'd say hello once in a while. It's okay. I hope you're doing well, my brother. Much love, Gerald. Then the next one, I said, good Saturday afternoon, Andre. I said, Mr. Andre, hope you're having a wonderful day. Much love, Jer. Next time, good morning, Andre. I miss you. Hope all things are going great now for you and family. And then another time I said, Andre. And then he just said, are you going to cuss me out? And then I sent him a voice message. Now you can do that. And I don't remember. Let me see what it says.
And this is on Facebook or personal message?
This is on Facebook.
Okay.
With a one-on-one, and you're talking one-on-one. And now you can use a mic, and this is what I said to him. I said, I have no intention to cuss you. I don't know if you could hear it, et cetera, et cetera. It was only 15 minutes sentence. And then he gives me the thumbs up, and he doesn't still say nothing. So then I went back and I said, maybe we'll talk soon. Thanks. So I put a thumbs up. I said, you can't share answer. I said, you can't share an answer back to me, brother. Then he says, what do you want? And I haven't answered that yet.
Wow.
Now his son was, he had that disease, the one that was in the movie with the dude that plays in the famous movie with the brothers, and he goes and saves them. The guy that's in the movies with the flying, what's his name? I can't think of it. He's been in the movies a long time. Started out, well, anyway. So anyway, it's puzzling. His son's got Alzheimer. I met his son. I met his son back in 2003. I drove up there to help Tony, and I brought a bunch of stuffed animals that my friend Marcus got turned on to. He had a whole bunch of them. So I had a whole bag of the stuffed animals, staying at my rich friend's mansion up there, Billy Lusage, and I invited Andre to come over, and he spent the afternoon with him and his son, which was probably only around 10 then. So back in that 20 years ago. Anyway, I shared all these toys with him and tried. I don't know if I had Boo Boo with me. And so anyway, I just try to be a good brother and uncle. And I said, Andre, so that was that, and off back to my world I went. But when I went back up there in 2013, I said, Andre, I want to get a pizza. Can I bring over pizza and share it with your son? No. Totally. I don't know. So over.
It's negative.
Yeah, and sometime back, he came to Vegas, and I picked him up somewhere. I vaguely remember. I took him to a dinner. I had a comp dinner for the Gourmet Steakhouse at the Maxim where I work. We had a good dinner, and then we went to. I was living here then, so I remember he came over and I was showing him something on the computer, and he says, "Jared, I'm just gonna get up and get out of here." And he took off walking, and I tried to. So I didn't chase him right away, but I did get in the car and try to see where he went, and I did see him a distance away, and he wouldn't get in the car. He wouldn't. I said, "Can I help, Andre? Can I give you somewhere?" And he totally ignored me. So I don't know. I don't know to this day that since he's the only brother, I'm trying to show that I made a mistake. I apologize. I'm sorry. And it's like, I don't know what's holding up this wall where he's so stubborn. And I guess it has to do with us all being what's it? Well, it's when you're in a home and you're all just not. There's a word for it. I can't think of it. That you just there's always problems, issues, and so I don't know. And so, like I just said, yesterday, he said, "What do you want?" And I haven't answered. Yeah. But I was going to say nothing, Andre. Just trying to relate. I know we're not best friends, but see, some of my friends that I graduated with, they're still alive, big time, up there. And I started rapping to them about this and that in Facebook. And they said, you know what? My kids, I said, I love Andre a lot. My kids really learned a lot from him as a teacher. Now, all this, I don't know. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that I found him in Facebook, and I just try to. I could message him, but he wouldn't accept me as a friend. And then he finally did, but I don't know the answer. Why do you want? Like is he thinks I'm going to target him? Does he think I have no ambition. I'm just proud to be alive every day and say my prayers and thank my creator. And you know, it's puzzling is what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. Thank you for letting me express that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all you can do is try. You know, all you can do is just try, and you know, he's not giving you, you know, the feedback you giving him. You know, like apologizing and trying to make amends. So you really can't control his reaction. So just
You know what I
just
want
take
to do? You know what I'd like to do? I'll send him that song by the Winstons. Whoa, what is it good for? Absolutely. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not the Winstons.
That's
That's
I forgot the name.
But whoa, what's his name?
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Good God, that guy was a badass. I love that song. Wow. What is it good? I should send him that song. For some reason, you know this. When we're in discussions and I was doing my show a lot, and whoever hosted, whoever's guesting or whatever, they'd say something, and it always sent me back to a song relating to the thought of what they were saying. And I've done that a lot I'll just bring up a song. You remind me of this, blah, 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 blah. So I've always done that over the years, which kind of got me in trouble sometimes with the staff rubbernecking into my show and saying, you're playing too much long. Yeah, you're playing that too long. I used to get drove like a 18-wheeler. But I stayed on after hours all those years because Nighthawk had the rights on the weekend to do that kind of thing. That's why I always stayed there. People tried to bump me off that show, wanted blah, blah, blah. And I wouldn't do it. So that's one reason why I stayed at after hours so long, 12 years and 11 hours a weekend times 4, 44 hours a month times 10 is 440 shows in 10 months for 12 years.
Yeah, but I mean that's accomplishment, man. You know, that's why I would come hang out with you. You know, I'd be on the road driving, and you'd be like, "Help! Somebody help!"
Call in. And so when Boo Boo passed, we sum it up, and most of my guests started their own. A lot of people come through me and started their own shows. They don't give me the staff, Lady Horse, Willow, and Amen. They don't give me a crack of credit for anything I did. I said I wanted to go be in the staff. They let Comet in. Comet's been doing a great job. But when I asked, they threw ass. Wow.
Hey, shout out Comet, man. Comet be filling them empty slots with videos and documentaries. That's much needed.
You're not good. I want to give a shout out to Omega Locos. I miss you. And I saw you in chat earlier, and I forgot to, since I'm live with Sarge, I wanted to say I love you a lot, Omega Locos. Me and him
shout
did it.
out Omega. Omega was cool, man. He would call into your show a couple times.
Yeah. And one night was the night, it was about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning here. It was the night of the blood moon. You go see the blood moon, right? Whatever. Remember that a couple of years back? And Omega Locos is in Australia. And I'm in California, Northern Cal. I'm in Nevada. And it was the blood moon. And so I went out and looked at it, and I could see the angle of it. I had to face south. I faced myself south, and I looked up about a 45-degree angle and a kiss to the right, which meant a westerly angle, and I could see the moon up there. Okay. So what happened was, I told him, me and Omega Locos are live. I said, Omega Locos, it was dark at his place too. Probably about 6 or 7 in his evening. 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning with me. Blood moons happen. I said, go look at it and tell me what angle and which direction you're facing to see the moon. So he came back. He said, Jer, I'm looking up. I'm looking north. I was looking south. He says, I'm pointed north. And he said that the angle was almost the opposite to my angle. So I said, it's up to the right. It's westerly angle, 45 degrees up from looking straight south. It was what I just told you. His was the opposite. I'm looking north. I was looking south. He said, I'm looking north. And so I was trying to, it sounded like, how could that be? Did it, I mean, it sounds logical, like we're on a flat earth. But I didn't bring anything up, but it puts thought in my head is what I'm trying to say. What do you want?
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope things work out with your brother, because I mean, man, it's not like they're making them every day. Your siblings are very important. So I don't know, Jared. I mean, I would probably just keep a dialogue, keep it peaceful, keep it simple.
Keeping it simple. I can't twist his wrist.
Yeah. And I could tell it's bothering you, and I'm glad you're getting it out,
It does, because we got to believe in forgiveness. Forgiveness, even though he don't love me anymore. That's a song by the Eagles. Even though he don't love me anymore, got to give forgiveness. So I just got to say, Lord, I keep me going and keep my spirits high, and maybe my brother will come to reason, but I'm not going to twist his arm.
Yeah. That's how I'll do it.
Thanks, Sarge, for letting me kind of bring up.
It's all good. It's all good. They gave me the nickname, Montel Miller. That like Montel Williams, Montel Miller. That's what they gave me.
Gotta get in the kitchen. Can hear you. Can hear you. I gotta go in the kitchen, check my meatloaf.
All right, yeah. We just chilling out here at Revolution.radio. freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Check out the archive. The archives are free. All you got to do is just go to the website, and it provides the username and password, and you can download your favorite shows. We got so many hosts and co-hosts all through the week, bringing up their point of view and their perspective. You know, some great shows, man. Great people here, and I appreciate people that's involved with what I'm doing and knows the behind the scenes of it, because this was Mechanic Show. That's why I got him on my intro. So I always try to bring up Mechanic and, you know, his mission and what he was going through. So yeah, I just picked up the reins and kept it moving. And let's see, I did this ad lib here. You're right there, Jay. You want to hear it? It's Mechanic talking. I'm gonna try to implement Mechanic talking more on the show in the future as I build up. But this is an ad lib I did with Mechanic.
This is a poke in the chest of the American citizen. We don't give a damn about you. We're in charge of your country. We're going to push you around. We're going to bring in communist dictators, and we're going to make them feel at home, American, and you will have no say. This is a...
You know what I'm saying? I can bring that in on talking points. So yeah, I'm going to be working on those things. I hope that just adds a little bit more excitement, you know, to the show, because this was Mechanic's it was the Mechanic Knows roundtable. I had plenty great nights with Mechanic on this show. So yeah. So shout out Mechanic. I know he's still working with us, keeping this thing going. But let's see where I want to go with this. Let's see. I wanted to bring up Alan Dershowitz. I don't know if people remember Alan Dershowitz, but he has some good takes on everything that's been going on. Let me pull this up.
What was Dershowitz known for?
He's an advisor to Trump's team, but he usually goes on Fox or different shows like that.
Medical related.
Yeah. He brings like, he's actually in the courtroom as an advisor, so he don't get treated like a lawyer. You know, that judge or kick out some lawyers or be like, you can't say that. He's like an advisor that's in there, and it's real good perspective, I think. You know, Alan Dershowitz. So okay. you want to let's go ahead. Let's listen to him. He's on Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly did an interview with him the other day. So here we go. Alan Dershowitz. It's called Failures of a Bias.
I'm dying to hear what you think about the jury instructions and the closings. Professor Dershowitz, I shall start with you. Give me your quick take.
The only thing worse than the jury instructions is the failure of the defense attorneys to object to them, which precludes raising many of them on appeal. These were horrible, very, very pro-prosecution instructions. Now, I haven't read every word of them. I'm taking my cue from the media. But if the judge hasn't given the missing witness instruction, it's outrageous. Here you have...
Wait, let me interrupt you on that and say what Arthur Aidala, your friend and mine, said in our last segment. He said the judge couldn't give the missing witness instruction because he had offered to let them bring in Weisselberg in a closed door hearing, and both of them ask him questions to figure out whether, you know, they wanted him or not. And the defense declined.
Well, then it's on the defense. It's on the defense. They should not have declined. Here, the crucial conversation that occurred is witnessed only by Weisselberg and by Cohen. And in order to convict, you have to believe Cohen. and you're entitled to argue that the failure of the prosecution to give immunity to Weisselberg and to call him as a witness should create an inference that it would have been unfavorable to the defense. I don't know how the defense can fail to focus on these two crucial meetings, the phone conversation and the conversation that took place in the hotel. Without those conversations, there is any corroboration of the key point. Now, there is corroboration of the fact that money was paid, and there is corroboration of the fact that these items were listed as legal expenses and retainers. But there's no evidence other than Cohen that Trump ordered it, directed it, knew it, other than the uncorroborated claims of Cohen, and that ought to be the central point in the defense. And so I don't know what happened.
See, that's another point that's coming up in social media. They're talking about Bill Clinton. I don't know if people remember, Bill Clinton paid a woman, what, $850,000? He had like a little fling and affair. So it's a bias. It's always a bias.
One thing about Clinton, when he was in front of the TV and he says, I got to say, I did not have any type of sexual relations with that woman. He looks like Pinocchio. Instead of his nose growing, it got redder and redder and redder as he said that.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. What else he said? He said, I did not inhale when he
I didn't inhale. I just shit.
What more I gotta say to that?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Shit, his nose told the story until he was lying like Pinocchio.
Yeah. I mean, man, this is like, and they wonder why, black folks and Mexicans and Latinos resonating with him because, deep down inside, we know this system is full of shit. You ain't gonna get no justice in no courtroom. On that type of level.
I think too. Here's something I think too. All the shit that Biden has done and his son, the laptop, it's all under the rug. Yeah. And it's not brought up the goddamn damage those two people have done to this country and the money they've made and all the shit. It's not even talked about, the laptop issue. All the shit that old man had with his status to let his son get into these outfits in Russia, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's not brought up. I think that's why.
But you remember it started with that phone call Trump had that one summer with Zelensky, where they was talking about when Biden was vice president with Obama, the big guy, he had that attorney fired. If he wouldn't have fired Ukraine wouldn't have fired that attorney, they wouldn't have got all of that extra funding. So yeah, all of that is documented, man. It's just, who's in control? Who can't you talk about? That Zionism, man. That Zionism got this media and people that are still caught up in this mainstream media like CNN. That's crap news network. Then you got MSNBC. That's more shit, nothing but crap news. Then you got Fox. Fox is still biased. They don't really get down and dirty with the stories. They might give you,
That's Tucker Carlson was right before he left.
Correct.
Fox, right? Wow. But is they pulling the American people trying to bust down relations with what's her name? What's the woman's name that Trump's dealing with? What's her name?
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, Stormy Daniels. Trump ought to make her his vice president.
That'd be hilarious.
Well, at least she'll be my Secretary of State. She gets around, baby. She gets around, baby. No, that would be. It's all about money, but who's pushing the money to Stormy Daniels? To who? To set it. Well, I should just let it ride. This is going back to 2006. I'm not interested in Trump's money. I'm not interested in. Maybe she is. I don't know if somebody influenced her to all of a sudden bring all this shit up and interrupt his presidency run. You know, he's got enough shit to do. And they raided Mar-a-Lago. Why didn't they go raid freaking Biden's place with all the bullshit he's got? Because he's our puppet.
Mm-hmm. And you know how many presidents was corrupt? I mean, shit, you got one.
All of them.
Bush, man, look at Bush, man. Shit. Come on, man. Yeah, but it is what it is. So let's continue with Dershowitz speaking.
And Dershowitz, he was in the not the IRS. He was behind where all the gold is. What do they call those guys? Shit. Just
well,
like
he was a Harvard professor on law, and Trump.
Yeah, but didn't he have a title with the government as the guy that covers like Bernanke that ran the Federal Reserve? He's not part of the Federal Reserve, I thought, is he?
More probably. I mean, he's a law like a law advisor.
I'm just saying he didn't hold the title of running the Federal Reserve. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Because he looks familiar. I see his face. All right, continue, please. Thanks for clearing that up.
It's all good. All right, here we go.
In the closed sessions or anything of that kind, but for the jury to deliberate without understanding that the key witnesses have not been called and have not testified, leave an enormous gap in this case. The other thing that should have been objected to, and I don't know if Mark has ever heard of this, the idea that the defense goes first is insane. Such a violation.
In this case.
Huh?
Especially in this case. I mean, like
case. How do you defend yourself when you don't even know what the charges of the second crimes are? And it creates the impression that the defendant has a burden, either a burden of going forward or a burden of proof. So I think the New York procedure is clearly unconstitutional in violation of the Sixth and the Fifth Amendments. And I don't know, again, whether there was an objection to that. You know, lawyers often don't object to things that are routine, but things that are routine are often held unconstitutional. And so I'm very unhappy with the defense in this case. That doesn't mean they're going to lose. This is a New York jury. Who knows how it will go? They may win, but they won't win, I think, as a result of great lawyering.
Mark, what's your take?
That you should have had the camera on more while Alan and I were talking before we came on air, because
well, tell us. We want to know.
That was even spicier. Well, first to Alan's point, which is interesting to me, the idea of the defense going first. Normally, what happens is the person who has the burden of proof. It's a criminal case, it's the prosecution or the government. If it's a civil case, it's the plaintiff. That's why they get to go last. If you don't have something to argue against, then in essence, you have waived your burden. And to my mind, that should be a directed verdict, even though that doesn't technically exist in a criminal case. I've had cases, I don't know if Alan's ever seen it, where prosecutors got up and said, I'm going to waive my closing statement. And my response to that is, that's fine, I'm going to get up, I'm going to give my closing, but you don't get to reply because you waived. So there is that issue there. To Alan's point, I don't know, I didn't listen to Arthur, so Megan, you can correct me. I've been entirely frustrated in this case because New York state criminal defense practitioners are loath to criticize this judge. One of the reasons I have been, I think, transparent in saying that this guy is nothing more than a prosecutor in a robe is because I don't practice in the state court.
Right.
This judge, some of these decisions which are being heralded on the left, I mean, if you turn on MSNBC at night, you would think that this judge is the second coming of some great judicial mind. I just don't even understand half of what he's doing in this trial. I don't understand what he did with Costello, which to me is beyond outrageous that you would take one of the defense's only substantive witnesses and basically telegraph to the jury that you're not buying a single thing that he's selling, and then create this hubbub. The idea of finding the defendant summarily in contempt for statements that were not made in your presence, which I've done a fair amount of contempt cases and politically charged cases. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand him jamming the defense after the Southern District dumped the discovery upon the defense and only giving them 30 days, and only because the prosecution conceded that they should get 30 days. I don't understand these evidentiary rulings where he's imposing or interposing his own objections. But I do understand from a practical standpoint why New York practitioners don't want to comment on him, but it's outrageous, frankly.
But the judge made one mistake. He allowed me to stay in the courtroom when he kicked out all the media and everybody else. And I stayed in the courtroom and I saw the Robert De Niro moment where this judge looked like the psycho in Taxi Driver and turned to Costello and said to him, "You talking to me? You talking to me? You looking at me? You raising your eyebrows at me? You're staring at me? I'm going to hold you in contempt. I'm going to strike your testimony." First of all, a judge has no power to strike the testimony of a witness unless the defendant did something wrong. If the witness looked at him funny, you don't get to strike the defendant's key testimony. And then to have telegraphed it in front of the jury, the judge's real self came out when he threw the media out. He's a benevolent despot when the media is there and when the jury is there. But when they're out and when only a few of us are back in the courtroom, the real Judge Marchand comes out and the bias seeps through, just reeks through everything he's doing. Now,
well, it's pretty amazing because the judge got so mad at Costello, he cleared the courtroom. He only let counsel stay. And Dersh was sitting in the front row and he let him stay. He got, I think, confused that Dersh was part of the defense team or something, or just knew him as a storied lawyer and said, "You can stay," didn't kick you out. And before he knew it, you were on your show reporting about everything you'd seen and heard.
But part of me wanted him to throw me out. I would have refused to leave. I would have said, "Your Honor, the Sixth Amendment not only protects a defendant's right to a public trial, but it protects the public's right to see the trial. I'm the public. I'm not leaving unless you absolutely."
That would have been amazing. Geragos, you'd be defending him. He'd be getting bailed out. You and I would be getting him out of jail.
I would gladly defend him because Alan is absolutely right. The Sixth Amendment, you don't get to pick and choose when you want to show who you really are. And I'll say it again. I do not understand these rulings that he's making. I don't understand the evidentiary basis upon all of this. And frankly, I don't understand what's been reported as the jury instructions. It's the whole thing to me.
Let me ask you a question about that. Okay, let me ask you something, Geragos, on that. Because one of the controversial things among many the judge let in was the fact that Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to a federal election law violation. He was already going away on his taxi medallion scheme and his tax violations. And then the feds were like, "Oh, and also, how about this federal election law violation?" And by that point, Cohen was like, "Fine, okay, I'll plead guilty to that too." And the judge allowed that in. And wait, let me finish. And he also allowed in that David Pecker of AMI struck a cooperation agreement with the feds around these same federal election law alleged violations. Now, he let the government bring that stuff out on their own witnesses. Normally, that would be like a Geragos or an Alan Dershowitz cross moment, like, "You pleaded guilty to this bad thing, didn't you?" But But you wouldn't do that here because Trump doesn't want any of that in front of the jury because it makes it sound like they're all guilty of the thing they cooperated with Trump on. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, then, and he compounded it because they put forth a witness. If you look at what Trump keeps posting, he keeps posting, I had a witness. I wanted a witness to opine on these issues. And he excluded the witness. To me, there's been a lot of things, I don't disagree with Alan that there's been a lot of waiver here, inexplicably, but maybe, I'm always hesitant to criticize the trial lawyer in the middle of the fray. But I will tell you that the idea that you allow in all of this stuff with the idea and then allow in closing, which happened yesterday, to talk about federal election crime, but knowing at that point that you've excluded, the judge has excluded their proffered witness who would have opined that there was no election law violation.
Right. And the judge today, Alan, I'll give it to you in 1 second, but the judge today, Alan, said he tried to fix it with a limiting instruction to the jury saying, I let all that stuff come in about Michael Cohen's guilty plea to federal election law violations and the cooperation agreement with David Pecker, not to prove that they're actually guilty or that Trump's guilty of anything, but because it goes to their credibility. But it's like, okay, it was the prosecution's own witness. The prosecution brought it up. It was all used against Trump. And that bell had been rung. The jury had heard that 2 of the star witnesses had already basically pleaded guilty or admitted to the crime. Go ahead, Mark, and then I'll go to Alan.
He let the prosecutor argue it. He excoriated
over and over
for saying liberty. By the way, I haven't ever done a criminal or civil trial where I haven't talked to the jury about the difference between fighting over money and fighting over liberty. Since when is that verboten that you're going to get?
Now, you see, this was a real good exchange of solid procedures. Those 2 gentlemen there, you can see Dershowitz, he got the Israel and American flag. So, you got that Jewish Zionism going on. And the gentleman next to him, I'm pretty sure he's a seasoned veteran, with criminal case, financial, mafia cases. So they breaking it down. They telling you that, the judge was very biased in this whole trial. But it reminds me of the Alex Jones, what he went through and what he's going through. So yeah, that's the break. This is Sergeant Miller with First Formation here on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net. And we'll be back in a few.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hey everyone, it's Barbara Jean Lindsay, the Cosmic Oracle. If you have questions about your past lives or future plans, need answers from the cosmos about your love life or career, or just want to keep your finger on the pulse of the planet, check out my show, The Cosmic Oracle, here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal,
ancient cultures and structures,
monatomic elements,
longevity,
fantastic discoveries in science,
downloaded to your brain,
then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Mackie.
And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need lips back to us. We're already here.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids, dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Revolution Radio.
Check in every Thursday night for the Crypt Rick and Jonathan Show. Studio A, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at the #1 listener-supported radio station, Revolution Radio.
Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Thought that I was believing and sleeping for oh so long. The things behind my back that you were doing for oh so wrong. And I guess you thought I would never, ever see it for myself. 'Cause you were gonna steal it and give it to someone else. But now I'm awake like truck stop coffee. And I will never turn my back on you. Awake like truck stop coffee. It's time to pay for all the things that you do. Awake like truck stop coffee. 'Cause you have broken all the golden rules. Awake like truck stop coffee. 'Cause I'm tired of playing the fool, yeah. Truck stop coffee is the one for me. Truck stop coffee really made me see. Truck stop coffee is the strongest thing that I have. I'm awake.
All right, and we're back. Like Keith Frank said, you're awake like truck stop coffee, huh? Yeah, there you go. Well, you're back on revolution.radio, freedomslips.org, freedomslips.net, and this is Sergeant Miller, along with my road dog, Jed Bear. We're just having some fun, trying to put these thoughts together and solve these problems and make it interesting, make it entertaining. So yeah, make sure you go to the website and become a supporter, because this is listener supported radio, internet radio, and you know, a couple bucks a month, however, whatever you can afford. You know, it goes a long way, because shows like mine and many other hosts here at the Revolution Radio family we try to provide good information and all walks of life, all nationalities, all over the world. You got people from Australia, UK. You got friends even in Romania. We got Vasto out there, and you got Jer Bear's nephew, Jason. I remember him on Jer Bear's show a while back. So yeah, this is just a great place to belong. Check in, and we also got the Matrix chat. Shout out to everyone that's involved in the chat. Yeah, shared sheet. Shout out shared sheet. He really be involved with a lot of history, and I appreciate people reaching out to me and giving me feedback. I appreciate that. So you all right, Jared? You're doing all right? Jared probably smacking right now. Yeah, but it's all good. This is the third hour. And let's see. I found this. This was a Democratic California senator. She went off completely, completely went off. So yeah, let me play that. Here we go.
President and members, I'd like to say, as a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should.
Yeah, she went there. She brought up, oh man, sex trafficking. Man, I was like, wow. When I caught that, I was like, damn, you can make a whole show with that, damn near, But shout out to her for at least speaking on the things she saw or had to deal with, and with in this age of Aquarius, this new light we in. People with good hearts, man, go get frustrated. That I always tell people that one of the hardest things in this world is to have a good heart, man. It's just so much, man. You get your heart broken time and time again, and you get frustrated, and yeah, but it is what it is, man. You just got to keep on pushing and keep on moving. So I wanted to give her kudos for that, and she spoke on the floor, so she's really, really on the record. So yeah. So let's see where else. Where else can we go? That that took the cake, man. When that came out, I was like, wow. She came out of left field with that one. So let's see.
Have
Let's
you done
see.
any art?
Yes, sir.
Have you been rubbernecking with any of Sean Combs?
Actually, I've been looking at well, I know you had that Clive Davis. You got that the video you want to send?
I haven't looked, but I'll look now. And so give me a minute. I'll mute out and I'll try to find it. The one with
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, right?
Yeah, showing
All
that
right.
connection. Yeah.
All right. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Stick around. Educate and donate. Revolution Radio.
There you go. Well, I wanted to bring up Ice Cube. Ice Cube was on Fox let's see, what's the date on this? Okay, yeah, Ice Cube. This was 2 weeks ago, and I got a lot of respect for Ice Cube because you can remember his platinum. He had a platinum plan. This was the last election, and the Republicans wanted to see his plan, but the Democrats was like, let's wait till after the elections. So here we go with Ice Cube on Fox, which was very surprising. But here we go.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again.
And there was New York Giants legendary and Pro Football Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor endorsing President Trump during his massive New Jersey rally over the weekend. Former Giants running back Otis Anderson also throwing his support to the former president. Trump hoping to gain ground with black voters. Rapper Lil Wayne praising Trump's work on criminal reform. While rapper Snoop Dogg said earlier this year he has, quote, nothing but love and respect for Trump. Rapper 50 Cent also suggesting Trump is maybe the answer after seeing New York City give prepaid credit cards to illegal migrants.
Now, let's talk about Snoop Dogg. Last week, I think we talked about Harry O. Trump had pardoned Harry O. And Harry O was the money behind death row with Suge Knight. And you can remember Snoop Dogg and YG had a song called F Donald Trump. That was like a big thing at that time during the last election. So now you see the 360 turn around. You know, Snoop showing his support, and then Lil Wayne, Trump had pardoned Lil Wayne at that time. So if he was truly racist, if you really think about it, why would he be helping people that he don't like? Why would he do that? So, just bring up the contradictions and the hypocrisy of this system. So let's continue.
Joining me now with some big news of his own is the founder of Big 3, award-winning rapper and actor Ice Cube. Also joining us is Big 3 president and co-founder Jeff Quantinetz. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. Jeff Quantinetz, always a pleasure and an honor to see you. Cube, I want to kick things off with this historic Big 3 news. But first, what did you make of this support for Trump over the weekend? And do you feel a shift going on in the African-American community, celebrities and rappers turning their attention to Donald Trump?
I don't know. I've been so engulfed in the Big 3. And so, I just got off tour in Canada, so I'm a little out the loop. People going to make a decision on who they want to be president. I think it's a personal decision. I don't know if they care if any rappers or entertainers get up there and say anything. It's really a personal decision. People know who Trump is. People know who Biden is. They're going to make their decision no matter who gets up there and pushes whatever agenda they're on. So it's really, the country knows both of these guys very well. So I just think it's going to just come down to a personal decision.
Jeff, any thoughts in your travels in terms of the community, the rapper community, supporting Trump?
Look, I think that people have realized that neither party really speaks for minorities, maybe for the black audience, and it comes down to who they think will really help them on the issues that they care about. And I think it's underestimated how much people care about the economy. I mean, we all know people care about the economy and immigration, but I think people think the black community and the minority community is monolithic. They don't realize that people have a lot of different opinions.
Yeah. No, it's a great point. It's not thick, obviously. But let's get to your big news. A historic announcement for the Big Three League. You're selling your first franchise to DCB.
Okay, I just wanted to show that right quick. Yeah, Cube is a businessman, man. And whenever he gets on these platforms, I like when he gets on his own, where he really breaks down how he's feeling. So shout out to Cube, man, doing a lot of things with the Big Three. I don't know if people interested in it, but it gives it gives a highlight to entrepreneurship because he's steady competing with the NBA, and he gives a lot of people opportunities to come back and at least get some exposure. So shout out to Cube, man. All right, where else? Where else do I want to go? Let's go with okay, Daniels, Donalds. He's another gentleman that's up for maybe vice president. I found this very interesting. It was real good. Let's see. So it's Congressman Daniel Donalds on CNN. So you're gonna see that contradiction. Here we go.
What do you say to Black and Hispanic voters who not just are paying attention to the economic stuff, but also about character, Donald Trump's character in particular? When he was running his real estate empire, he was sued by the DOJ for racial discrimination. More recently, when he was president of the United States, he didn't want to denounce the white supremacists and racists in Charlottesville. When people look at that record, what do you say to them when they say we can't trust Donald Trump?
No, Abby, we got to be truthful. If you go back and watch the entire clip, it's a 17-minute clip still on YouTube of the president talking about what happened in Charlottesville. He denounced all of the white supremacy that was going on in Charlottesville. I've reviewed that tape. I know you and your producers have reviewed that tape multiple times. Let's not take one statement out of context. Okay. Let's be factual now. Well, you got to be for 17 minutes. He denounced it. That is the history. People go on YouTube right now. Don't listen to my words. Go on YouTube right now and watch it.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's shaking up the media landscape. CNN, the self-proclaimed most trusted name in news, is in big trouble. In a recent interview, CNN's Abby Phillips went head-to-head with Congressman Byron Donalds, but the outcome was far from balanced. This one-sided affair is a perfect example of why CNN is struggling with key viewers. According to the New York Post, CNN's primetime ratings have plummeted to a 30-year low. Just 83,000 people, hear me now, just 83,000 viewers aged 25 to 54 tuned in during the week of May 13th to the 19th. That's the lowest since 1991, people. That's crazy. You have people on YouTube doing better numbers than that on a day-to-day basis. Greg from Black Conservative Perspective, The Benny Show, Doug in Exile. I could go down a list of people that are doing better than media conglomerate CNN right now. Let's break it down real quick. CNN's total viewership for the week was a mere 494,000 views. 494,000 views, while Fox raked in 2 million, MSDNC pulled in 1.1 million, which is mind-boggling to me that they can pull in that many people on a week-to-week basis to listen to their lies. It's clear that people are not as fond of legacy media as they used to be. Young people are turning to other platforms for their news, and independent media is giving legacy networks a run for their money. Let's get into the video before we do.
Which is a positive. So that's why places like Rev Radio should be supported. What the gentleman just said. Alternative to the mainstream is getting a lot of clicks and views or attention. So that's something positive to me. If you want to, we in a lot of doom and gloom, but look at the positive of the shift from the mainstream, especially CNN. CNN man, I don't even understand how they're still in business. I mean, well, let me correct myself. George Soros, George Soros money longer than Michelle Obama's private parts. There you go. That's a good joke. But I just want to tell everybody who listens to this, any host or co-host, keep doing the work, keep doing a good job, and just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Whatever subject you want to talk about, break it down and be articulate. That's what I try to do. So I hope people enjoyed the presentation that me and Jer Bear, bringing forward. So let's continue with Congressman Donalds on CNN, and he is in the running for like vice president with Trump. So there's three that I talked about tonight: Tulsi
Sorry.
Gabbard, Ben Carson, and Donalds.
I'll have something. Do you want me to get something about Clive Davis?
Yeah, we can mix in the hip hop. We can mix it in.
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
We got about another 40 minutes. We got another 40 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you. I'll have something real short, quickly. So
It's all good, yeah.
Okay, buds. You're right.
All right, let's continue.
Do so, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
His night conversation with Congressman Byron Donalds, a Republican from Florida. He's been rumored to be a potential Trump vice presidential pick, and he's here in the studio with us. Congressman, why does former President Trump keep repeating those statistics that are very easy to fact check and are not true?
Well, a couple of things, Abby. First, it's good to be with you.
Yeah.
No, how rude are you? You invite this man to your show. You don't say, welcome to the show. And I know they probably, did that off air, but isn't that, just being polite? Isn't that the professional, polite way to go about things, is to say, hey, thank you, Congressman, for joining the show? That's crazy.
Now, let me say this. It is without question, whether you're black, brown, white, doesn't matter. We were all doing better under Donald Trump. You might want to look at raw job numbers, but a lot of those jobs are part-time jobs, not full-time jobs, not career jobs that help people actually change their stars in life.
Rate? I mean, those statistics are pretty clear, too.
But here's one thing that is critical. When you do wages adjusted for inflation, that is down. And so you might be making more money, but you're paying significantly more for the goods and products that you use every day. That's affecting every American. It's hurting Black Americans and Hispanic Americans more than any other group. And that's the fundamental problem with Bidenomics, and that's why he is being rejected by a lot of
I hear
voters.
what you're saying about inflation, and it's certainly true that inflation is obviously a huge issue. But on the issue of whether or not Black unemployment is higher or lower under Biden or Trump, it is just a fact that it is lower under Biden. So, I mean, Trump can make a case to Black voters, but he shouldn't be lying about it.
Well, here's the fundamental case. When you're talking about economics, do you have a job? That's an important thing. But are you making enough money to get ahead? Do you have more disposable income? Is there a pathway to building generational wealth? That is not possible under the Joe Biden economy. It's been a disaster for virtually all Americans except the very rich.
I want to say this. We are in a situation right now that I can't recall us being in. We can compare economies. We have a chance right now, all of us, to compare the Trump economy to the Biden economy. And yes, people are making more money. But when you look at inflation and you look at the cost of things, eggs in some places are $9. That is crazy. Gas in some places is upwards of $5 and $6 out on the West Coast. Where I'm at here on the East Coast, our gas is $4 and some change. During the Trump administration, man, gas was under $2.
All right. So that's economy, right? So what you got to say, Stone Cold?
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
It's all about the economy.
Too completed. You like that one?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's all about the economy, man. Look, them gas prices, food prices, man. That shit.
And when he stopped when he shut off the oil line that went to the from Montana up there down to Louisiana, I'm shutting it off. Hey, we don't need it.
Yeah.
Everything he does is against us. He ain't done nothing for the American people, whether you're white, black, yellow, or red.
All right. Inflation don't care what the color of your skin is. Oh. So that's why I wanted to bring up them points. Pretty good points.
Right.
All right, let's continue.
Come on, man. We can compare apples to apples. Everybody that I've talked to, even people that I know that voted for Biden, and a lot of them voted for Biden solely because of his attachment to Barack Obama. A lot of them, when I told them back then, do not vote for this guy, they just thought, hey, he was with Barack Obama. He must be a good guy. They don't really understand how the political game works. And now they're saying, we got to get this guy up out of here because people are feeling it. You know how many people are actually tapping into their 401ks right now? You know how many people have had to either stop investing in their 401k because they can't afford to invest in it, or they've dialed it so far back that they're not really able to reap the full benefit of the market that all of these folks, especially on the mainstream media side, the liberal propagandists, they keep touting all the stock market's up. But regular working class Americans, middle class Americans can't afford to really take advantage of the market right now because people are too busy trying to figure out how I'm going to pay this mortgage, this rent, get food, make sure that my kids have all the necessities that they need, and help family members. Because just because you're doing well, if you are doing well, there is a plethora of your family members that aren't. And guess what they're doing? Picking up the phone, calling and asking to borrow money, asking for a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance. If you have senior citizens in your family, grandparents, elder uncles and aunts that are on fixed incomes, their wages did not go up because they're on a fixed income. Those people are in need of help right now. So those that have family members that are seniors and things of that nature, you're having to help them as well. On the other side of that, the other end of that spectrum, our children that are coming out of college, there's not a lot of opportunities for them. Junior level positions are requiring 3 to 5 years of experience. How do you expect someone fresh out of college to obtain an opportunity when you have companies that are saying, hey, a junior level position now requires what used to be considered mid-level work experience? These people, man, they are ridiculous.
I do want to ask you about one aspect of that, which is about student loans, because that's an issue that actually matters to quite a lot of Black voters. The Biden administration has pursued a policy of trying to find student loan forgiveness basically wherever they can. This is something that clearly disproportionately benefits Black and brown borrowers. They owe an average of $25,000 more in student debt than white borrowers. Is that a policy that, shouldn't Black voters be looking at that when they're looking at who's going to put forward policies that benefit them?
No, I don't think so. I think a number one policy, especially if you have a college degree, is the economy thriving? Is it robust enough where I can use that degree to earn more money for my own benefit and for my family's benefit? But number two, and this is the most important thing, Joe Biden doesn't have the authority to do this. The Supreme Court has told him no. Congress has told him no, but he's done it anyway. That is a violation of separation of powers. You just don't get to pick and choose what money you're going to spend someplace, because 2/3 of the American people, which also includes a lot of Black people and a lot of Hispanic people, they did not go to college. And so what you're telling those people are, it didn't matter if you didn't go to college, but we're going to go ahead and give a bailout to some people who did. That's not right. It's not fair. It is not something that the American people want to see happen.
The racial wealth gap in terms of who owes what for higher education, do you believe that some of that is due to just longstanding disparities in what Black families have, generational wealth that white families were able to build up that Black families were not? And do you think that the government should play any role in trying to?
But you see how she keeps using black, Latinos, Mexicans. Why don't you just say Americans? Everybody's struggling, man. If you're not in that club or at a certain level, making what 6-7 figures a year, if you under that, man, you
get up out of it.
Yeah, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke, man. So that's why I wanted to play this, because you see how CNN keep using that race, and it's like, come on, man, we so past that. That to me, that's ancient to me.
So it's just to keep divide and conquer going.
Correct, and you could see it in her presentation, you know. So yeah, let's continue with it for a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Help Black borrowers catch up.
Well, there's a couple of things in that. When you talk about generational wealth gaps, yes, some of it is, did my mother or did my grandmother have any wealth to pass on to me? That answer was no. The wealth I'm building now is something that my wife and I are building with our families. There's a lot of Black families that are doing that right now. A lot of mixed families, a lot of Hispanic families. That's happening today. You can't fault people who were able to pass wealth on before. What you can do is make sure there are opportunities.
It's not
but when you talk about the wealth gap amongst races, you are talking about previous examples where other families were able to build wealth and pass it on. So that's why for a lot of Black men in particular, but men in general, they're talking about building generational wealth. That's not something the government can help you do, except for the government having the proper rules and the proper policies for the economy to grow and thrive.
Man, Byron Donald hit the nail on the head. She tossed him a lob and he knocked that thing out the park with that answer, man. He's absolutely right. One, it is the number one thing that Black men are concerned with, in my opinion. I'm concerned with it, being able to leave something for my children. But I will say this, and I don't want to make this a Black thing. I want to make this an American thing. Americans for generations have been sold a bad bill of goods. Hear me out now. When I was growing up, and I'll just talk about my own parents, my own parents, they had me at a very young age. And then my grandparents on the other end, they were homeowners and things of that nature. But a lot of people, they got sold the debt cycle. Hear me out. They got sold, buy a house. This is your starter home. Couple years, buy another home. Don't pay the first one off. Just sell it, take the equity, go buy you another home, bigger home. Every time you get ready to pay a car off, go buy another car. A lot of people fell into that cycle. I watched my grandparents do it. And these are hardworking Americans. My grandfather, 5th grade education. My grandmother was the first person in our family to actually go to and graduate from college. They were able to build a life together, one as a construction worker, the other as a nurse. They bought a home. They bought multiple cars. Heck, they bought me a car, at 16. And, so I was one of the fortunate. But I watched them not struggle, just stay in debt. Not, good debt, but bad debt. Buying new cars all the daggone time. Now, I didn't watch them buy multiple houses.
Debt. That's what he said, debt. And I see shared sheep in the chat. He said, if you are a U.S. citizen, you own all the U.S. debt. Now, you know how serious that is? Because Black's Law Dictionary, you got to know what the definition of a citizen is. And then with the U.S., a lot of people don't know that the United States of America is a corporation. It's incorporated. So that means that it is a person. And when I say a person, remember Mitt Romney years ago, he said corporations are persons. So that's some connecting the dots you got to do on your own, But get a Black's Law Dictionary, William Campbell's Black. I'd say fourth, fifth edition. After the 5th edition, they start changing it, start changing the terms. But when you break those things down, and then he used the word American. That's the term, American. And America is a continent, right? Okay. So message. Yeah, but I appreciate the gentleman. I liked his breakdown on this. And I might just play a few more minutes of it just to get a feel of the Congressman Byron Donalds. He's a strong VP pick for Trump. And out of those three I mentioned, Ben Carson, Tulsi Gabbard, and Byron Donalds, I think he got something with a vice president. You know, it's whether their loyalty, where is their loyalty and their morale and their morals and their principles. That's where you gotta look at, because 9 times out of 10, yeah, they're all in Freemasonry. And trust me, they're all in Freemasonry. They understand the true history of this country, and they know a lot of sciences that is not taught to common folks. So yeah, you always got to put that in place. And as my shows go on, week after week, I'm gonna try to do a breakdown a lot of Freemasonry, because it has to be talked about. I mean, you see it in Hollywood, you see it in cartoons. Let's see, you see it in remember the Flintstones, where Fred Flintstone, they had the Buffalo, was the Buffalo Club. That's kind of like the Shriners, in a way. So you got to know these things, and you got to put it in its proper perspective to really see how the game is played. So let's continue. Probably just a few more minutes of this. Here we go.
This is the house that they bought when my grandfather passed away. My grandmother ended up selling it, which later down the line, she actually said that was a mistake. She should have kept that home, should have kept it in the family. And when you think about where that house is and what it would be worth today had it had been kept in the family, because it would have been paid off. It was close to being paid off when they sold it. I think a lot of it is just poor financial planning and poor financial literacy. And that's not just a Black thing. I think that's an American thing, in my opinion.
Both you and Trump talk about sort of moving past race in politics,
especially Black men, Hispanic men, etc., because they have seen the Joe Biden policies. It's been a disaster. That's why I call him the master of disaster, because everything has gone wrong. And they want a president who's going to be focused on America first, get the country on track.
What do you say to Black and Hispanic voters who not just are paying attention to the economic stuff, but also about character? Donald Trump's character in particular. When he was running his real estate empire, he was sued by the DOJ for racial discrimination. More recently, when he was president of the United States, he didn't want to denounce the white supremacists and racists in Charlottesville. When people look at that record, what do you say to them when they say we can't trust Donald Trump?
No, Abby, we got to be truthful. If you go back and watch the entire clip, it's a 17-minute clip still on YouTube of the president talking about what happened in Charlottesville. He denounced all of the white supremacy that was going on in Charlottesville. I've reviewed that tape. I know you and your producers have reviewed that tape multiple times. Let's not take one statement out of context. Okay. Let's be factual now. Well, you got to be for 17 minutes. He denounced it. That is the history. People go on YouTube right now. Don't listen to my words. Go on YouTube right now and watch it. The point that I'm
what's the point that you're making about Donald Trump and the history that's pretty clear? The racial discrimination lawsuit. Mm-hmm. There's the Central Park Five. I mean, there are a lot of examples.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
And you don't want the supporters?
No, I don't want anything.
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
I'm going to open up about something. Originally, I wasn't a Trump supporter. But I sure as hell wasn't going to vote for Hillary either. That wasn't going to happen. I didn't start supporting Trump until Charlottesville. When Charlottesville happened, and I seen the live speech that he had made, that he had did, then right after that, I watched CNN and all the other news outlets. saying that he didn't condemn white supremacy when he literally did. When I watched the video and watched him do it live, that's when I became a Trump supporter. And because I already knew the media lies, but that was one lie that you shouldn't tell somebody that, you know, when millions of people are watching.
Talk about Joe Biden's record.
No, but I'm just wondering, Donald Trump is making a pitch to black voters.
Joe Biden issued the 94 crime bill. It was devastating to black voters. You know this. It was devastating to black men in particular, the 94 crime bill. Joe Biden did that.
Joe Biden
didn't want his own kids to be busted. Joe Biden did that. That was his record as well. So let's not just focus on what Donald Trump has said a long time ago. Look at his record as president of the United States.
Gaslighting. That's what they're going to be doing through this whole thing. And look, I'm not 100% with Trump, but I look at the art of war and the 48 laws of power. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Got to remember that. Now, I'm not saying the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's a war tactic. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if you got an enemy and someone else is attacking that enemy, are you going to attack that enemy? No, you're just going to let them two fight it out, and you're going to save your resources until the shit hits the fan. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying when the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I enjoyed that breakdown because it really showed the hypocrisy of CNN and how I don't know how they keep on with all that nonsense. I mean, it's frustrating, especially to like the audience on Rev Radio, because we're a lot of researchers on this station. I mean, man, you'd be surprised how alert people are. So I just wanted to show the contradiction and the hypocrisy of CNN, Crap News Network. That's their name. So I found another clip, Jared. And it's gonna be a lot of cussing. So it's like, 3:40 in the morning. I might get away with it. But this was this guy doing his own interview at the South Bronx at the Trump rally. So he's out there with a microphone and he's showing you, different walks of life and people, talking who they voting for and who they're not voting for. And then you see Antifa in it. So I wanted to play this, Billy on the Block, episode 1, the Trump rally.
Okay.
Billy Pepper, first episode of Billy on the Block. We are here live at the South Bronx Trump rally, and we got a ton of patriots out here and people from all walks of life that are excited to be here. Let's go and talk to some strangers and see what's on their minds. What's your name, boss?
My name is Andre.
Your name? Andre. Where you from, Andre?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Nice, man. So, what do you think about this site here? We see a sea of red. We got a ton of red hats out here.
We gonna turn New York red, bro. It's going red. It's going red. Blacks, Latinos, whites are tired. We're tired. We're tired of the illegal people. We're tired of the immigration getting all this handout. Man, listen, let's build the wall, get them out of here, and make America great. Again, for all of us.
I'm an American. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. What part of New York you from?
I'm from Bronx County.
From Bronx County? What's going on, bro? Come here. Come on in, man. Come on in. Where you from?
Yeah, I'm from Astoria, Queens, New York, baby. What's good?
Chill, man. Now, let me ask you something, bro. Like, a lot of people say that Trump is racist. You don't like black people. Don't like all this.
It's all fake. It's all fake.
I mean, I'm a black dude,
Come on.
Puerto Rican, baby.
Puerto Rican.
Unemployment was down for all groups of people. Unemployment. The economy was booming under President Trump.
I got a friend named Ramon. You remind me of him. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You came to participate or just coming to spectate?
Shit, I'm just spectating this shit, man. That's all. I ain't participating in nothing.
I can dig it. What do you think about Donald Trump?
I don't trust nobody.
It's fair to say, but why don't you trust in terms of the president? Like, are you planning on voting this year?
Nah.
You happy with the gas prices right now, bro?
I ain't happy with nothing. I just want everybody to be good. That's it.
Cool. You think Joe Biden's been doing a good job?
No.
So you got a sign that says fire AOC. Your mom's Tina?
Yep, I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in this district. What the AOC is doing is disgusting. Away our president's freedom, they're gonna take away our freedom. They're taxing us higher, and they're getting richer while these neighborhoods are falling apart. Construction has been going on for over 20 years. Union laborers are being laid off.
You see how energized people are there? People energized, man.
Okay, yeah. I'm listening.
Yeah, man. I like these, boots on the ground actually there. You get that feel for it. Look at her eyes. Boy, she's serious. She's serious as a heart attack. And she walking fast. So yeah, let's continue.
It's disgraceful. She should be ashamed of herself, that anti-American communist.
You have the same fire as your mother, man. Wow.
Because this fuels me. I love my country. We all crossed from one country, came over Ellis Island. We're all American. They want to divide and conquer. We all love peace and harmony.
Big Prince, you heard? Dean Big Prince. So, what do you guys think about this rally? All these red hats popping up in the crowd.
Man, listen, I'm a Trump supporter, so at the end of the day, I'm proud everybody's here to support my man. There's a little people that don't want to support him, but at the end of the day, that man took us out of debt. That man gave us a lot of money, small businesses and all that. I'm with Trump.
I can dig that. I almost got beat up by an old lady up here earlier. She wasn't having it.
She wasn't having a Trump?
She wasn't having it. She ain't supporting him.
Oh, why not? What was wrong? She said,
she said apparently if I'm black,
she's in the wrong place. Yeah, he loved black people.
He said about us, and
what did he say?
Whole country.
Say again?
The blood is poison.
I don't understand what you said.
Yeah. Well, you trying to be funny with my mother?
Ma'am, I don't even know you.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't even know you.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I think it's a free country. I think I could stand here.
Get out my mother's face asking her question.
Oh, I apologize, ma'am. Well, I'm going to continue. My interview. Ma'am, you are not the police.
Get the fuck out of here.
But so yeah, we're out here. As you can see, some people are not very happy. Some people are hostile. They don't want to have civil conversations. But yeah, man. Quite a situation. So yeah, look, some people here, some people are positive, some people ain't too positive, unfortunately.
I want to ask, even though you're in the interview, I want to ask you, like, would you, like, I don't know, one of the main things here that's been kind of like mind-boggling to me is that, like, imagine the lifestyle where everywhere you go, it looks like this. So I want to ask you guys, like, do you think, like, you would want a lifestyle like this, that wherever you go, it's kind of like damn near pandemonium?
I mean, the only pandemonium I see coming is from these people guys up on the mountain, to be honest. Because like over here, I just see people singing and dancing and yelling over here, but they're throwing rocks. It's like, they're going crazy. So it's like, I mean, pandemonium, like a state goes, I don't want to live like that. But Trump support. I mean, these guys are drinking beer, having.
See, he was talking about Antifa over there on the hill. So there you go. You see the setup. It's just the same thing as the George Floyd riots. Antifa, Black Lives Matter. The agitators. So he gonna talk about Antifa, and he gonna show you some of Antifa and how they act. So yeah, I thought this was very interesting. I hope people enjoying it.
What a good time. It's so crazy that it's just one street away could potentially be it's just a crazy situation.
Well, shout out to the cops keeping the community safe, at least, As you can see, we got the Antifas. They've pulled up. They're on top of this rock. They got a giant sign that says F Trump, Trump. He's a criminal. We got to get rid of him. Let's go over there and see if we can have some productive conversations. Yeah, you're a teacher here in Bronx?
Yep.
How many years?
15.
So, what do you think about this rally? Like, I see people from all different walks of life here. Do you see this as a good thing or a bad thing?
I see it as a bad thing because this isn't the right venue for Mr. Trump.
Where do you think would have been a better venue?
Somewhere where he's actually going to make policies for people and carry them through and not harm communities.
Why do you hate Joe Biden and Trump?
I hate the government. I'm an anarchist.
So you want to see America burn?
I want to tear down the White House. I want to tear down the Congress, all that.
And then what?
We all free. We all gonna do what we want.
What about the rest of the world that doesn't care about what we want to do?
Huh?
So what about the rest of the world that doesn't care about what we want to do? What if they invade us?
Everybody got to be free, and you're not gonna invade us.
You don't think China would invade us if America imploded?
Come on, America too strong, man.
Well, not when our country's on fire from anarchists.
If we get access to everything, we know how to hold down land. More of the story.
All right, well, I hope you're right, man.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, man.
Anarchy for life.
You heard it, anarchy. Burn down America, Billy on the block. Billy on the block, we're here in the South Bronx, and I'm here with, hey, yo, that's a big Don Julio, bro. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
They're just throwing a party out there.
Yeah.
Boy, that sucker pull out it looked like a fire extinguisher, that Don Julio. Drinks for everybody.
Rico.
Yeah, man.
I'm here. We in the mob.
What's going on, brother? So, what brings you guys out here? I see you guys are chilling, you're enjoying your drink.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about what's going on here in the park?
Yeah, man, this right here.
This is just something different.
It's different, man. It's crazy how he can get everybody to come out here and do this, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He got a mixture of everybody. People who love him, people who hate him, and people who don't give a fuck. People who don't give a fuck.
You know what? But let me ask you something, brother. So, what do you think about what Joe Biden's doing right now? You think he's doing all right?
Listen, man, he's old, man.
Old.
He's old, man.
Sit down, man.
Joe Biden is old, man. This old ass, man. Come on, man.
Like, so,
man.
well,
He soon lose his memory. It's over. Another year, he gonna start bugging. We gonna start seeing him twitching and shit. Man, good,
You don't know
man.
what country he be standing in sometimes. Like you gotta remember that.
He's not even tough enough to lead us, man. He's not even tough to lead the United States, man. Come on, man.
So let me ask you something, man. When Trump was president, like,